This is Michael Popek, Legal AF. In the aftermath of Donald Trump's 34-count felony conviction, we have him using along with his proxies false information which is being used to attack Judge Marin, and now there are increased violent threats against Judge Marin as a result. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the 444 fraudulent theory that Donald Trump and his proxies, including those on Fox News, have used against Judge Marin, who basically have claimed that Judge MWN violated New York law and the way that he instructed the jury about how they should find unanimity about the criminal accounts against Donald Trump, claiming falsely wrongly that the judge instructed the jury that they could convict Donald Trump of any crime they could think of, and that 4 of them could think of one crime and 4 could think of another crime, and the third convict him of another crime, and that would be enough to convict him of a books and records of a fraud case. Wrong in it wouldn't be. It would just be laughable that Donald Trump is using that just for the grift of raising fundraising dollars if it wasn't leading to the real-world consequences of a state court judge being violently attacked, so much so that there's been an uptick in messaging, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of messages being sent through to Judge Marin threatening harm to him and his family as a result of this. It's not a game, it is to the Trump side. It's not a game any longer now, as Donald Trump always knows his rhetoric has consequences. Every judge that's ever dealt with him has told him that the call and response between Donald Trump and his followers to do violence is strong, and when Donald Trump and his followers say and lie about the jury instructions in order to try to undermine the validity of the hard work of 12 Manhattanites who convicted Donald Trump not just of one but of all 34 counts against them for business record fraud and furtherance of a second crime, and they falsely declare they tried to undermine the judge, that he wrongly and improperly and illegally instructed the jury. What did they think was going to happen? Exactly what's happening: death threats to Judge Rashawn. Let me explain how this works, and we've done it on Legal AF, but I want to do it right here on this hottie because I want to explain it so you have it as a sort of a pal card when you're talking to people in the street about this particular issue. The instruction that was given by Judge Bashan was appropriate. What it says is that the jury had to reach unanimity about whether there was a business record fraud case here, that Donald Trump caused the business records of the Trump Organization to contain fraudulent information in furtherance of a second crime, what we call a predicate crime. What the judge said is you must reach unanimity 120 on the violation of the 17,510 of the Penal Law of New York, which is the fraudulent business record statute, which is normally a misdemeanor. Unless that a false entry, false series of entries. We had at least 12 of them on the books and records. That's 12 of the 34 counts is in furtherance of a second crime, a cover-up of a second crime, if you will. And there the judge said you just have to find if there was an intent to commit a second crime, but you don't have to reach agreement on what that second crime is. Why? Because New York law does not require that the second crime, or the predicate crime in that the original crime is in furtherance of be charged. It's not an indict, it's an uncharged crime. So it didn't have to be proven at trial. That wasn't a burden of the prosecution beyond the reasonable doubt.